Discovery video number 4, Churchill Downs. We got a 6 furlong claiming race, 40,000. It's a straight claimer, not to be confused with an optional claiming race. Those are more like allowance races than claiming races, but this is a straight claiming only 40,000. Which brings us to Unsaddled Glory. Well, actually, the first thing that brings us to Unsaddled Glory is the fact that he's being let go at 18-1. Okay, that's the first thing it's the reason why we're looking in this direction to begin with. 8-1 morning line. Our true odds here on this report, 4.5-1, 4.5-1. That's 9-2. So the report rates this one out at 9-2. The betting public letting it go at 18-1. Okay, we're interested. Now, can we find some reasons to like Unsaddled Glory? Well, if you just glance at the whole field here, you can obviously see that he's got more of these little purple boxes. As a matter of fact, there's only one other horse in the race that has any purple boxes. But Unsaddled Glory has all those purple boxes, and what each one of those stands for, you see they have a different number. Each one of those is one of the 36 proven winning overlay angles. And here on the Horse Racing Digest page, you can click on that anytime. It's a free ebook, and you can read all about them in detail. Okay, but the one that I'm going to focus on here is, I think it's, in my opinion, underrated. You see the FTC icon there? He's the only one in the field to have that. Now, what that stands for is first time claimer. This is when a horse is racing in a straight claiming race for the first time. That means, he may have been maiden special weight, then went to an allowance or even an optional claimer, because I said, like, those are allowance races. But this is the first time he's racing in a claiming race, straight claiming. Okay, and this is important. However, it becomes stronger in a situation like this that he is the only horse in this race that is a first-time claimer. Okay, he's the only horse in this race that is racing for a straight claiming price for the first time. He's the only one. Lone FTC. Okay, that is an unmeasured quality. It is in and of itself what they call an angle. I call it a winning situation as well. Okay? Now, for those of us who want to eat figs for breakfast, and I don't mean the fruit, for those of us who are into the figs, hey, I'm a fig guy too. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I love figs. There's times when the horse with the best figs is going off at 18-1. And at that moment, I'm in love with the figs. But if the figs lead me to a 7-5 shot, nah, I'm not looking at figs. But in this case, he's even got some fig stuff to look at, most notably Angle S from the Super, right here on the digest page. I give you 3 of these for free. Super Overlay Angle S, okay? What that is, here's what makes it so powerful from the new book, new reports. You got to have a horse that has one of the top 2 highest turn time ratings and the top 2 highest mid-pace rating. Turn time is the speed around the final turn. Okay? Excuse me. And mid-pace rating is just your pace rating at the middle stage of the race. Well, this particular horse we're looking at here is in the top 2 in both. As a matter of fact, it is number 2 in both. But if you want to see the power of turn time rating, okay, this is which is an unmeasured figure, even amongst figure players. Somehow, the turn time rating is not given enough credit, in my opinion. Watch number 6. I'm going to start the video where the turn time begins. Okay? Watch the turn time. Red Silks, red cap. Here's your turn time right there. What you just witnessed was momentum picked up on the turn time and carried forward to the wire. Here's where your first time claiming angle comes into play. The class of this horse fends them off at the finish. Okay, so you see how that combination really, to say 18 to 1, I mean, here's what it looked like on paper. There was your turn time. Here was your class. Just a shade under 18 to 1, 37.60 on the Win Mutual. Okay? So, recap. A horse player should not have to live or die by one particular method. Okay? You see a lot of the stuff I write says angles are winning situations, but if you really open your eyes and look, I'm not an angles player only. Okay? If some good winning situations or angles point me to a horse that's 18 to 1, I can be any kind of player. If the figures turn me to an 18 to 1 shot, I could be a figures player at that moment. Okay? I mean, we've seen horses with the best speed figures, or at least our speed figures, and the best final time rating go off at good odds and win. Okay? At that particular moment, on that particular horse, at those particular odds, I guess you could consider me a figures player at that moment. But there are other times when, here is a good example that a combination of pace figures and winning situation comes into play. Pace figures, again, somehow not given enough credit. I think the majority of the betting public live and die by speed figures, and you got to keep in mind, speed figures measure only the final time rating of a race. Just because a horse ran the best final time last time out, or the best average, or whatever, or just obviously has the best figures, does that mean he's going to repeat that race today? No. These are not machines. These are not machines where you stick a key in or push a button, and like my Jeep pretty much drives the same every time I get in it, and no matter what I want it to do, it does it. That's a Jeep. That's an automobile. This is not. This is a horse. This is an animal. This is a living, breathing, a blood-pumping animal, and they're not going to perform on cue in every race. So your pace ratings are underrated. Turn time rating, practically nobody even talks about that. But I just showed you the power of the turn time rating. First time claimer, you might hear people talk about it, but do you ever hear somebody say, hey, this is the only horse in the field that's racing in a first time claiming race? You don't hear much talk about that. See, this is one of my winning situations. First time claimer, lone FTC. Okay, so this is a good example on how figures and angles together bring us to a winner at 18 to 1 odds at the beloved Churchill Downs. Okay? Good learning video. Thank you very much for viewing. Good luck with all your bets.